Greetings, gentlemen. It is I, Victor von Frankenstein, the Grateful MGTOW, back with more content as promised. Welcome. Let's get started. So, it is 2020, gentlemen. Welcome to the new year. As most of you have noticed, my new favorite image of myself is from The Purge, election year. And that's the year we are facing. And I've noticed that most of us are still here. Thank God for that. Now, the Purge might still be coming, and you never know when any of us could be purged off the platform at any moment. That's just a given. That's something we understand now. And of course, as I search through the recent uploads, it's no surprise that anti-MGTOW sentiments are prevalent. Very prevalent. A couple of recent uploads, one of them being from yet another woman dating coach coming up in here, running her mouth about shit that she just does not fucking understand. But hey, everybody is entitled to their free speech. This is a right here in America that I will defend to the death. The same goes for the Second Amendment, along with most of the others. We could get rid of the 19th. But gentlemen, I would just like to talk about New Year's resolutions and some things that I've been noticing. Every time of year, New Year's comes around, everybody makes all these grand plans for change and how they're gonna do better in the coming year. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to focus on bettering yourself. There's a few things that I've noticed, and they're common themes. Now, one of them being to never look back. Now, as MGTOW in our community, we understand the importance of never looking back. Progression is always a forward motion. And we should never look back. We should never dwell in the past. However, another very famous quote is to not forget the past, lest history repeats itself. And the title of this video is going to be Hindsight is 2020. I think that it's quite fitting for it to be Hindsight is 2020. I apologize to the gentleman in the chat. I'm driving to work, as you guys can probably hear, so I can't focus on reading comments. I welcome all you gentlemen. I appreciate you. Welcome to 2020, gentlemen. But as I was saying, hindsight is 2020. And it's necessary for us to look to the past in order to not repeat history. And at the same time, as I understand that this is a contradictory statement, that we should never look back and always move forward, but we should always look back at the past in order for history to not repeat itself. And the fact that hindsight is 2020 simply because you experience And through that experience, when you can look back and understand your folly, it is necessary for us to sometimes turn and look over our shoulder, to grow eyeballs in the back of our head and keep our neck on a swivel. I see a lot of people with their New Year's resolution about change and how we're going to improve ourselves in the coming year. But I'll say this: we're going to be prepared for a whole lot of the same. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And of course, it's already started. And anybody that thinks that things aren't going to get worse, well, I would say to them, hindsight is 2020. If we look back and we analyze everything that has occurred throughout the past decade, throughout the past 2 decades, throughout the past 50 years, throughout the past 100 years, on and on into the ether of time, there are repeating and cyclical patterns. And these things will occur over and over again. And there's a reason that men like us here in the MGTOW community, when we see people that infiltrate our community and run their mouths about racism, and yet they never want to analyze themselves. You can already see with the machete attacks on the Jews that happened recently over Hanukkah, and people like the Young Turks that refuse to address the actual problems that exist in communities that they would consider marginalized. The hypocrisy and the double standards that exist between the lines of race, between the lines of gender, these things are going to continue on. Everybody's got their New Year's resolutions, but nobody has any solutions. I know that there's a few gentlemen, they definitely talk about some solutions, TFM being one of them. Big John, recently subscribed to his new channel. I understand, I didn't really care for the fact that Big John went into the mainstream media and talked to the mainstream about MGTOW, but it doesn't mean that the man doesn't have a good message, a consistent message about preparing yourself. And this is something that I've lived by since I was a very young man. And I've said it to many people. How about we all just act like Boy Scouts and always be prepared? But prepare yourselves for more of the same, gentlemen. Because hindsight truly is 2020. And those of us that have experienced some of the pitfalls that befall men in the present day, we understand that being able to look back and analyze the past, while at the same time not doing what the alt-left and the radical feminazis do, where they compress all of history into yesterday. You don't want to do that, but you always do want to look at the past so that history doesn't repeat itself. Now, moving forward into 2020, don't be surprised when we see more of the same. And just because things aren't changing fast enough, because they won't. Change is a slow thing. And here in the MGTOW community, we don't really expect things to. We don't really care if things change. We understand self-preservation is simply us going our own way, not caring what other people are doing, not caring about Twitter, the online social media sociopaths that come on here, choose to come into the community and attack us. I've been seeing a lot of it, and it's definitely ramping up. And there's a reason that most of us have made an exodus off of this platform to go and find greener pastures. But it just seems funny to me. You know, these conflicting ideas sometimes, they ain't so conflicting. Never look back, lest you turn into a pillar of salt. And at the same time, we have to analyze the past so that history doesn't repeat itself. These are all important messages here in the MGTOW community that we talk about regularly. And I see a lot of people, they're so misguided on what it is that we truly stand for. Most of us, we understand at its base, MGTOW simply teaches no cohabitation and no marriage. Plenty of men out there have girlfriends, stuff like that. They want to pump and dump, which I've spoken out against many times. You go about your business. It's your choice. That's what MGTOW is. It is a philosophy of absolute individual choice. You can choose to go right back to being a blue pill, whatever. Go right back into the matrix. You have fun with that. Tell me how it works out for you. But there's a lot of these people that I see infiltrating the community, especially these supposed black knights or dark knights, black pillars. And I don't think they really understand what black pill is. A black pill is a nihilistic approach to things. Most of these people, I would be willing to believe, they just want to see the world burn. That's fine. They're entitled to their opinions also. But I see a lot of them come into this community and they push this idea that somehow MGTOW is racist or that we hate women. And I know from talking to most of you gentlemen out there, I have yet to see any racism. And I have yet to see any true MGTOWer. I understand the true Scotsman fallacy that a lot of these assholes bring up to. But anyone that considers themselves a MGTOW, I have yet to see any of them hate women. Just openly hating women or being misogynistic. Now, when you talk about the gynocentric system and the gynocracy that we face, that's a whole different thing. And yes, it involves women, but it's deeper than that. This isn't just a hatred of women. This isn't really about hatred to begin with. This is about men seeing a bad deal and walking away from the table so that they can preserve their own sovereignty, so that they can preserve their own rights to life, liberty, and happiness. Because frankly, things are stacked against us these days. And anybody that can't see that for what it truly is, that person is a chameleon. That person is a fake and a fraud. And those types of people, as we can see with the mainstream media and most of the bullshit going on the internet these days, fakes and frauds are rewarded. And those that speak the truth are silenced. It's going to be an interesting year, gentlemen. I've got a lot of stuff that I've been working on. As I have said before, I know I'm getting it. I'm getting it ready, gentlemen. I'm gonna get it out here soon. I decided that it was best to wait until after the New Year celebrations, after the Christmas holiday. But in my free time, I have been putting the videos together, and I will be releasing one here probably tomorrow night. And I hope that everybody had a safe holiday season. Hope it was blessed, and I hope you spent time with friends, family, whatever. I don't want to see bad things happen to people, regardless of race, gender, all that. I would like to see society actually correct itself, but I doubt that's going to happen. As we all know, hindsight is truly 20/20. And if you can look back at the reoccurring state of our society, the reoccurrence of everything that we've known throughout history, we all understand that things are they're going to continue on the way that they always have been, and things are going to get worse. And this year is going to be an interesting year. It is exactly why I chose that perfect image of the Purge. It was quite fitting. And as everybody understands and sees the character that I have chosen for many reasons as my avatar, it's really easy for me to find imagery to appropriate for my channel. But there's a reason that I make the edited content the way that I do. And a lot of the stuff that you guys are going to notice going forward, you'll definitely see a lot of music. Music has always been a serious influence in my life, along with a lot of art. I worked in a tattoo shop for 10 years. I've listened to all different types of music across all boards. And a lot of these things trigger memories in my mind that I'm able to pull from and extract thoughts and connect the dots that I feel are important to get my message out there, to say what I have to say. And I appreciate all you gentlemen that enjoy my content. There's a reason that I make it. I make it so that I can interact with people, so that I'm not completely alone, which most of the time I am. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. I enjoy solitude. And I know WST, he spoke about the differences between insulation and isolation. And when you can do both of them, insulate and isolate yourself away from a lot of this insanity, I don't know, in my waking days, going to work, spending time with my children, spending time with family, I'm just a normal guy. I actually enjoy the life that I have, regardless of how isolated or insulated I am from a lot of this stuff. And we're not all indestructible. I understand there's a lot of people out there that they have their own problems and issues. The red pill ragers, stuff like that. Some of the black pillars that are just outright nihilistic. And I definitely take an approach a lot of times where, you know, when I do leave comments in people's comment section, most of the time it's just a simple congratulations, you're a fucking idiot. Because a lot of these people are fucking idiots, and you need to be able to tell them just straight out, you're a fucking idiot. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people need to hear shit like that. Like, no, dude, you are fucking stupid. Because without people being able to tell each other things like this, or to say offensive things to each other, these people would just go about their business thinking that they're the fucking goddamn, they're the Messiah, come to bring the message to the masses. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. But I see more and more of it. And the gentlemen that are truly genuine, that come into this community to have conversations, that join into the live streams, just to sit in the chat room, well, it's usually pretty easy to see who the infiltrators are and those people that are truly genuine, regardless of what their opinions are. What's going on in the chat? Oh, nice. Mari, welcome. SCE, welcome. Lawan, glad to see you, gentlemen. I know it's early, gentlemen. I had to get to work a little bit early this morning and get some shit done. I'm just sitting in the parking lot now, getting ready to head in. I'm the only person here right now, so I gotta wait for at least one other guy to show up. Sit and enjoy me some coffee. Enjoy a smoke before I head on in here for a long day. But there's always there's always a silver lining to everything, gentlemen. And as I reference a lot of this music and the imagery that I choose when I edit my videos, there's a reason that the Grateful Dead always truly inspired me with their message in their music. And a lot of that music, definitely some of it is old folk music that was handed down through generations, much older than they were. But that silver lining, it always takes a touch of gray. And that's the thing. Not everything is black and white. And these people out there that see things in black and white, they got a confirmation bias. They don't want to talk about anything. They just want their side to win at all costs. And it's this division and this further division of extremes that are going to push us to the brink. And as I said, hindsight is 20/20, gentlemen. All we need to do is sometimes we've got to turn around and look back and realize and understand that these things will repeat themselves. I know that human beings like to think that, we can analyze the past and history won't repeat itself. No, you're fucking wrong. History is going to repeat itself. And the way things are going, and the more the censorship ramps up, and the distrust for our own media, the people feeding fake news and lies into the world, these people are going to create more wars. That shit is going to happen. And if these people in power, they ever come into America and they think that they're going to be able to take away the Second Amendment, it's going to be the fastest way for them to start a civil war in this country. And I can see in Virginia, that shit's already starting. But we'll see, gentlemen. 2020 is just starting. I hope you guys all had a wonderful New Year's. I had a pretty damn good New Year's myself. Cut out a lot of bullshit. Cut a lot of videos. Got to do some commentary on those and do a little bit more editing. But good things are coming. Good things, bad things. Got to roll with the punches, gentlemen. I know that we strive for self-actualization here. to better ourselves. We understand what it means to better ourselves here in the MGTOW community for ourselves. You are a one-man army in this community. I understand we have the community that always stands at our back, at our side. I won't say it at our back. And we should stand up side by side, gentlemen, as men in the past have always done. We need to stand side by side and face to face. Sometimes when that happens, fight's going to break out. And this year, there's definitely going to be some serious shit going down. It'll be fun to watch. I am really looking forward to this year, because it's purge year. It is election year. And I'm glad that I found this community so many years ago now. I'm glad that I found a group of men that are truthful and honest. And they're not afraid to say what the truth truly is. Because there's far too many people that they're living a delusion. This delusion that's been created by the indoctrination of our academic systems, of our government, of what we've all been told since we were little kids. These fucking fantasies and fanciful beliefs and ideologies, and the majority of them, they're just bullshit. I've seen a great awakening happen. I've watched it happen right before my eyes. Throughout my very few years here on this earth, in comparison to the long lengths of history, it's been an interesting thing to watch evolve. And I know a lot of you gentlemen are around my age, and you guys watch the same shit happen. We bore witness to this bullshit that has been created. And in my mind, it's quite comical. It is. But at the same time, it has some serious detrimental ripples and effects in the real world. Sorry, just reading reading what some of you gentlemen are saying. Yeah, well, we all understand. Us white males, you know. It's funny. the whole white, it's okay to be white trending back on Twitter. And anybody that reads into that message and can actually speak out against it, what they don't understand is what they're actually saying is simply by them saying that somehow it is racist or whatever to put up a sign that simply says it's okay to be white. Simply by speaking out against that, what they're truly saying is, no, it's not okay to be white. And it fucking makes me laugh every fucking time. I truly am enjoying the shit. But we'll see where 2020 goes, gentlemen. I just wanted to get on here. I know most of my content moving forward, as I've said, I'm going to try to focus a lot more on my edited content. But every once in a while, I'm going to be, jumping on, doing a live stream, do my little chat on the way to work, whenever I have ideas that I just want to talk about without, sitting down and having to do a lot of that edit process. It definitely takes a lot. And sometimes I just don't have the imagery and I don't have the references that I'd like to, put together. There was one that I was going to try to edit into this video. It was a reference to Futurama. When they're talking about time travel. I've had this conversation with some people recently about time travel. I fucking hate time travel. Anytime they put that shit into a movie, it drives me fucking nuts. The only people that I've ever noticed that did it right was Futurama. Hindsight, it may be 2020, but you can never go back to the past. You can only move forward. And in that clip, they have to keep going infinite amounts of years into the future in order to come back to a point. Things will repeat itself. This is a cyclical pattern. This is something that I've addressed when I've talked about the infinitely fractalized universe before. The Fibonacci sequence, fractal cosmology, time travel. We all will come back to this point, maybe to correct something that fucked up in the past. It's hard to say, gentlemen. I don't have the answers. If I had the answers, well, fuck. I guess we wouldn't be in the position that we are. I guess if any of us had the true answers, none of us would be in the positions that we've been put into. But there ain't no changing it. I don't think that there's an easy way out on any of this stuff anymore. The only change that we can truly do is to walk away. And simply by us walking away en masse like we're doing, you can see the effects that it's having. And anybody that thinks that we aren't having an effect out there, well, all you got to do is look at your haters. People wouldn't make videos trying to argue against our reasoning for what we do. You wouldn't have YouTube propping up these anti-MGTOW channels if we weren't having a true effect in the real world. And we may be silenced, but that message will carry on. There's no stopping it, and it'll be a slow change. It will. Maybe a little too late, but you keep doing what you're doing out there, gentlemen. Focus on yourself. Take care of yourself, because you are number one. You are the only person out there that will ever have your best interest at heart. You remember that. I'm no wise man. I'm no scholar of philosophy. I only see and observe the basic nature of humanity. I only make these videos because I enjoy talking to you, gentlemen. And I enjoy talking about these subjects. The only way that we can elicit any kind of change is through debate, discussion. And those that choose to silence us, those people are our enemy. Well, gentlemen, there's my guy that I've been waiting for. So I'm going to cut it here. I'm really glad that you gentlemen decided to pop in. I know it's early in the morning. Welcome, Pence Rule. Glad to have you. Glad to see you, Mari, Lawin, SCE. We'll see what 2020 brings, gentlemen. And look forward to a new video coming up. Yeah, that Jessica J lady. She was... Yeah, I had a few comments in there myself. But, as always, my only comment that I can have for most of those people is congratulations. You're a fucking idiot. You gentlemen have a great day too. And we'll talk again real soon. I'm about to head into work and get her done. Alright. You guys have a great one.